But right after looking at this beautiful Chevrolet truck, things start to get a little bit weird. Welcome to Keeper of the Mountain. Today's little bit is happening in Arizona. You can probably tell by my shirt, being a Route 66 shirt, we're going to be on Route 66. That's where we're going. Now there's a popular section of Route 66 in Arizona that goes between Kingman and Ash Fork, Arizona. And it doesn't matter if you're heading east or west, as long as you put in time to have lunch at Mr. D's Route 66 Diner. It's a pretty good place to have lunch. Now, Mr. D's is located in Kingman, Arizona, right across the street from the Route 66 Museum and that little cutout of the Route 66 sign that everyone wants to drive through in Kingman. Now, when you stop at Mr. D's Diner, you're likely to see all kinds of classic cars that different customers drive there, but you'll for sure see three. The three that you're definitely going to see begin with a 1954 Route 66 themed Chevrolet pickup. And I mean, hey, who wouldn't want a pickup like this? It'd be a great shop truck. Just put your name on the side. What a beautiful truck. It really fits in quite nicely. But right after looking at this beautiful Chevrolet truck, things start to get a little bit weird. Someone built a Route 66 themed police car. And they built it out of a classic Buick and placed it on what appears to be a Chevrolet 4x4 running gear. Probably the frame out of the truck and then the running gear that goes with it. Not quite sure why they did that. It seems like an odd choice for a diner, I would think anyway, but the body seems to be in reasonable condition, and the interior looks to be pretty much stock. Now I was wondering what age this vehicle was. What was the year of this Buick? And so I know that a lot of times you can look at a taillight lens and on an American car, and on that lens, in the casting, it will tell you the year of the vehicle. So I went and looked, because I figured that's my go-to, that's my first thing. And the only number that I could find on the taillight lens was a 40. And I'm thinking, this is definitely not a 1940 vehicle. I don't care what kind it is, nobody made cars like this in 1940. This is definitely post-war. So I went ahead and did a Google search, diligently looked, and I found out that these taillights were used for 3 years by Buick, 1950, 51, and 52. So I was down to 3 years, and I'm looking at it. And then I looked at the monkey metal, because that's another thing that makes a change. Now, monkey metal, as you probably know, is all the chrome bits that are just added on for the look of the car. And if you look at the back fender of this car, it has a big chrome fin right on the top of the rear fender. Well, that chrome fin was only applied to the 1952 Buick. So for that reason, I conclude that this is a 1952 Buick. Now, if I'm wrong, and which is very likely, let me know in the comments. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me what you saw. What made you think it wasn't a 1952? I don't know. Maybe it's a 1940. I don't know. You tell me. But I'm pretty sure it's a 1952. So other than the four-wheel drive part of this car, I really kind of like it. I think it's a pretty cool car. But we're not done with the weird just yet. I mean, putting four-wheel drive under a Buick is one thing. Now, if you're an electric car fanboy, here's your roots, man, right here. This is where you came from. A 1979 Commuta car. Now, this car is here at the diner to draw attention to the Route 66 Electric Car Museum that's across the street. And that's for a future video. We'll go take a look at that. Now, this crudely put together car, complete with house wiring, It even has an outdoor outlet cover where you can flip it open and put an extension cord into the car and charge the lead acid batteries, which no doubt ran basically an enclosed golf cart. But what about the diner? You know, a lot of times when you have a diner or a restaurant that's themed, it's really kind of cool looking. It's got neat stuff all over the place, but the food suffers. I mean, it's kind of like that whole rubber tomahawk thing that people talk about when they do a lot of traveling, you know, where all the gift shops have the same junk made in China, and it could be that way, but this restaurant really has dodged a bullet. They were really good. I actually went in there and it had the right atmosphere. I bought their jalapeno burger with fries, and I got a strawberry malt, and everything tasted as it should. The staff was also friendly and the service was good. Then I went online and checked, and sure enough, Mr. D's is on the favorite restaurant list. And then Mr. D's is ranked number 2 of all the restaurants in Kingman, Arizona, second only to the local Cracker Barrel. So if you know how good Cracker Barrel is and you're familiar with it and you like them, well, you're going to like Mr. D's. So I really recommend making the time to stop and eat at Mr. D's and take a close look at these vehicles and whatever other cars happen to be there when you're there. At the same time, go across the street. Go to the museum. The museum will be the subject of another video along with some of the other sites along this stretch of Route 66. So if you like this sort of thing, I mean, it's all car related. It has to do with cruising and the history of the United States and cars and all that kind of stuff. And if it interests you, by all means, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you don't mind, and please give me a comment down below telling me exactly what you think of everything you just saw and about these cars and your opinion on them, whatever. It's all fun, and I'd love to hear your opinion on it. And I will see you in the next video. But in the meantime, be sure to do a little bit every day, because a lot of littles make a big.